So the kid from Phoenix, Arizona moves into the quarterfinals. He'll be racing against our fastest loser from the first round as we get ready next for a beautiful truck. It is a Chevrolet from Albany, Minnesota. Doug Spanier, the brother to Randy. This is called the Master of Disaster, and he's taking on the Illinois boy, Jim Miller, and the Barbarian Ford.
Jim Miller just stepped up on horsepower, bought a big buck engine, makes a lot of horsepower, so this will probably be a battle of the chassis. Both of these trucks way up on the horsepower. Spanier known for his notorious outlaw-type horsepower in the Chevrolet, but the Barbarian Ford says he can put him away. We're going to find out right now. They both lead side by side. Look at that Ford go! I have never seen that truck run that quick in my life, Richard.
Boy, he has really got it dialed in the Music City. Talking about Jim Miller, the Barbarian. He gets another upset win, this one over the Master of Disaster.
Real quick, Jim, I know you're busy. You were awfully busy up in that truck. What was going on that run?
Well, what happened, I just put it to the floor and let my 1,000 horsepower engine go, and I cut loose my front drive shaft, but I got another, and I'll be back in competition.
What about the engine? The engine did not want to shut down. When you were on the end of the track, you had to actually kill it.
Well, that motor's running so much horsepower that it just almost won't shut down. It's like a big funny car engine, and it's just a lot of power.
See you in the next round.
Okay, thank you.
You know, that's good news tonight for Jim Miller, because this is action from last week. At the starting line, he died.
Yeah, right on the starting line, he tried to get the horsepower to work for him, and it wasn't, the horsepower was not the problem. The problem was in the transmission. It blew up, blew a lot of fluid out. The safety crew knocked the fire out, but
there's a lot of our great little fans here in Nashville. Boy, they love these monsters, don't they?
The youngsters around the country identify with these monster trucks. You say monster truck, little kids' eyes are going to light up all over the country.
They also identify with this guy. It's the defending Renegades national champion, Rowdy Rod Litzow, USA 1, and he is out to regain some, well, what he feels like was lost honor in last week's races. He was disqualified. More about that in a minute. He's taking on the Ford from right here in Tennessee, no problem, and John Moore.
I look for John Moore to give this rascal the ride of its life. Hometown folks, no problem, Ford. You gotta, you know, everybody goes after USA 1. There's a lot of controversy around this truck. Everett Jasper said it's the dominant truck on the circuit. He's 2/10 slower in qualifying, but believe me, he's riding a rocket right now in this round of elimination, Richard.
And Rod Litzow gets the win over no problem. Last week he was disqualified, a controversial decision he thought, but tonight, no chances of a DQ. He wins it straight out.
The track is rough, it's hard. I'm just going to have to keep it on the track to just make it a win, because I'm just going to go gun-ho with the truck. I just have to keep it on the track is all I'm going for tonight.
Everybody knows you're under the pressure. You've got to go for a win tonight, so everybody's coming after you. John Moore has ran you a beautiful race. Everybody wants your high tonight in Nashville. What's going through your mind out there?
Right now, I'm putting it all out of my mind, because I know that's what they want. All I'm going to do is run my race. I'll run the best race I can, and that's what I'm going out here to do. I'm not going to think about the other drivers. I'm going to run fast times all night.
Good luck to you. See you in that next round.
Thank you.
Well, the first round is over. Quarterfinals straight ahead with King Crunch against Mad Dog, Yosemite Sam against Gravedigger, No Problem against Toughing Up, and Barbarian takes on USA 1. Back with more in a moment on Powertrax. From the Nashville Motor Raceway in the Music City, we are about to enter into the quarterfinals. Here comes last week's winner. Matter of fact, he got his first win of 1989 last week. That is King Crunch, Scott Stevens, the GMC out of Woodland, Texas, and he is taking on a formidable opponent in the form of the veteran John Breen, the Mad Dog Chevrolet from Barnett, Missouri. They're about equal in horsepower, but remember, this King Crunch is that high technology monster truck.
Well, Scott Stevens is running a rear engine concept. He's just about to get his truck ironed out. He proved that last week. Well, we're going to find out if last week was a fluke, and right now it doesn't look that way. King Crunch out of Texas going to the next round. Kevin Ford, the crew chief, said they could do it 2 in a row. Let's see if they can live up to it now.
28 years old, out of Woodlands, Texas. He was rocking and rolling a little bit, but Scott Stevens gets that win, and he is trying to make it 2 straight championships in a row from Nashville, Tennessee.
It's got to look like you got awfully squirrely coming off that second set of cars.
Yeah, you know, I did that slow pass, and it takes me a little bit to get back up to speed again. You know, maybe I shouldn't have done that easy by run, but, you know, we're ready. We're not worried about nothing. The truck's running good. Hadn't hurt no parts all weekend. We're ready for that white truck, Army.
That white truck he's talking about is the defending national champion USA 1. Whether or not he gets him later is yet to be determined as we get a replay from that race. Boy, he is really rocking and rolling coming down the track, Army.
Scott Stevens trucks historically have always had a real weird bounce in the rear suspension. Now, the front end goes where he wants it to, and the rear end hopefully follows, but that may play a role a little bit later. Again, it amazes me. He is after USA 1 tonight, isn't he, Richard?
But then everybody is on this circuit.
But this Texan wants that white truck bad.
And here's the guy that'll take on anybody, and he normally whips them. Talking about Dennis Anderson, the Gravedigger Chevrolet out of Chesapeake, Virginia. But he's got a real battle on his hands with Yosemite Sam and Sam Poor. He's out of Jonas Ridge, North Carolina. This is a Ford against a Chevrolet.
We told you the story about Yosemite Sam. He does not run the national circuit with us. He's not a traveling pro, but when he comes out, he has a tendency to knock some of these big boys off. I'll guarantee you the Gravedigger knows that he's going to give it all he can in the spectator side of the track. And again, Yosemite Sam comes out. Look how smooth the truck is. Not a lot of air. Gravedigger's going to have to come back. He does.
Gravedigger with the awesome power right there at the end gets the win. This means in the semifinals, Gravedigger takes on King Crunch.
Dennis, this is your big chance to come back. You're coming back from disqualification last week. The truck's looking good, but King Crunch is who you're going to be sitting next to in this next round.
Yeah, he's going to be tough. He's been pulling out some straight runs. I can't hold my truck straight on this course to save my life, but I'm going to give him the battle of his life.
Yeah, that's what it's going to be as you see King Crunch going back to the pit area to get ready for that semi-final race, which will be coming up in a few minutes against the Gravedigger. And that is going to be a classic, Army.
It'll definitely be a classic. One thing I'm looking for, Stevens in the King Crunch truck is real smooth. Look on the right of your screen. The Gravedigger, he's all over. Now, right now is where he's going to go or not. He had enough ground speed and forward motion to finish that thing. He will not be able to make that same run against Crunch.
Well, now we're ready for a couple of Fords to go head-to-head. One is the hometown boy talking about Jammin' John Moore and the no-problem Ford Bronco. He's from Lafayette, Tennessee, but he is facing one of the toughest Fords I've ever seen. Tough enough, Pablo Cruz from Phoenix, Arizona.
This kid out of Phoenix, Arizona has impressed me a bunch. Every time I see him, the truck gets better, it gets quicker. He's doing a great job of driving it, so he's not going to be a pushover for Moore. Meanwhile, Moore sits on the spectator side of the track. A lot of his neighbors sitting in the grandstand. He would love to put a win under his belt. Side by side, keep an eye on Moore. He's there.
Yes,
John Moore coming back.
And the crowd is standing and cheering for the Tennessean. There you see John's wife, Heidi, giving him a thumbs up, saying, way to go, partner. John Moore makes it into the semifinals. He will face the winner of our next race.
Run better that time. Let it hang upside down.
We might be looking at somebody that's on a roll here. Last week you put the Gravedigger away. Right now, nobody wants to go up next to you. You're driving completely different. You are aggressive out there tonight. Why?
We came here to win.
Hometown have anything to do with it?
I'm sure it does. I want to do good being home. This is Nashville, and this is where we want to do good.
Everything looking okay? Ready for that next round?
I got to go put my coil back where it belongs, but it seemed to run better upside down, so I just might leave it there.
Good luck. We'll see you in that next round, John.
Appreciate it.
I don't think I've ever seen as much intensity or confidence on a man's face as I just saw on John Moore's. We see a replay of his win, and it was a rather convincing win there at the finish line.
It was definitely convincing, but what amazes me is the driving style. Normally Moore, he's kind of easy going. Boy, he's coming off the high dive tonight.
Here's one all the crowd's been waiting to see in action. Your defending Renegades TNT national champion, Rod Litzow, USA 1, that white truck, against the Barbarian and Jim Miller Ford against Chevrolet.
Keep an eye on Miller. I'll guarantee you he's going to pull the trigger. I use that term, but you watch it. Miller is going after USA 1. Nothing to lose for the Ford. You got to lay them all on the table. Side by side, a good run. Miller might do it. He did. Richard, the upset of the year.
Fair and square, no question about it. USA 1 and Rod Litzow, a big upset. The Barbarian knocks him off.
Jim, you said you made an engine change. You had just as much, if not more, horsepower than anybody. I think you just proved it. You put USA 1 on a trailer.
Yeah, that's right. I've been trying to do it for about 2 years now, and it finally come true.
You're going to the next round, and he's not. Good luck.
I sure need all the luck I can get.
Rod, the national championship, while it's fresh on your mind, you and Everett are getting back further and further into this corner. Can you still pull this thing out?
Oh, yeah. We got to think positive that we're going to pull it out. We got to keep going that way. That's the only way we're thinking.
Well, Rod Litzau's night is over, but we still have 4 trucks trying to win it all tonight. When we come back, it's the semifinals on Powertrax.